Good morning everybody, welcome to another trucking vlog. Thank you very much for choosing to tune in. I'm Coalville Trucking and if you don't already know, I'm a HGV class 1 driver and I drive containers around the UK. Thank you very much to everybody that subscribed so far, everybody that's liking the content, everybody that's commenting as well. I appreciate it so much, and I can only thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support so far, and it really pushes me out there to get content, so I appreciate every single one of you. So today we are going from Suffolk to Coalville. We've got the delivery, we loaded it last night, and as you can tell, things are a little bit different already today. I haven't got the microphone on. I'm choosing to not use it at the moment unless I'm outside and maybe doing some stuff where I might not be as close to the camera as I am now. And the simple reason is, and I'm probably sure most of you will probably agree, the quality has sort of dipped slightly with the audio when using the microphone. I've used it quite a few times in each video, so I've got enough of a sort of understanding of that. So that's why I'm not using the microphone today. We are going to be using dual camera again today. I had a hiccup with it in the last vlog, so I wasn't able to use it, recorded it in the wrong settings, etc. But today I have made sure that the settings are sorted and the camera is ready to go. But I won't be recording until it starts to get light, and I'm sure again most of you will probably agree that some of the last vlogs where I've recorded in the dark just haven't been good quality. It's been dark and there's been nothing to really see, and that's the unfortunate part of the time of year that we're in, and also me not realizing that it's not recording properly, because when I'm looking at it on the little screen on the camera, it actually looks all right. But anyway, so like I say, we're going to Coalville. We've got a 9 o'clock delivery, and it's a place I've been to before, so we're going to pop it into the sat nav. I've got quite a lot to do today because I've also got the review to record for the TomTom. I feel like I'm in a position now to be able to do that properly, especially after doing London with it yesterday. So it's hopefully going to work out in regards to that that good old review. Anyway, let's have a look here. Why ain't this working? But yeah, as I said, we went to London yesterday, so it was a good opportunity to really see what the sat nav is up for, basically. And to be fair, odd choice of routes, or odd choice of route in, and I say that because it just took me down some questionable roads, and a lot of people have said the same thing when I've spoken to them about the TomTom sat nav, is that it does tend to take you into some odd places in terms of that might not be too suitable for your truck, or they're going to be relatively tight for the truck anyway. Right, let's have a look here. So there we are, this is the road we need. Boosh. So I'm hoping to get a lot more footage today of reversing and all that sort of stuff, so please do stay tuned, let me know what you think. So there we are, we're getting there for 8 AM, so we're going to be slightly early, so as we get a bit closer we might just stop off, maybe grab a bite to eat, maybe grab a coffee, because I've only brought my Red Bull in today and I have not brought my coffee, so I'm gonna have to grab one en route. I just couldn't be asked to make one this morning. But yeah, anyways guys, we'll get on the road and we'll get going. Walk around checks have been done. We had to put some screen wash fluid in as we sort of got quite low yesterday, so we're checking that that's working, and that's all good. But yeah, I'm going to try and mix it up with the views again today in this video. I do apologise if the standard of the last vlogs just haven't been up to it in regards to the different camera angles. I have tried, but it's sort of either things catch me out or I end up not being able to get the camera in the right place. in time to be able to do it. But like I said, I promise this one will be a lot better than things have been in the previous videos. So just sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy, guys, and I'll see you guys when we're a bit further up the road. So everyone, we've been driving for about 2 hours ish, I think. We've got about half an hour left before we get to our delivery in Coalville. We've stopped at Welford Truck Stop, which is probably one of my favourite places to stop, simply because it's just, yeah, simple. Simple parking, simple structure. The food's nice as well. So we've grabbed ourselves a bacon and egg bap. So yeah, we're gonna scoff that down, drink our coffee, and then get a move on. But yeah, it's only now starting to get light, to be fair, as you can tell outside. It's yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a nice day. The skies are looking very, very nice, which is always a good thing. But yeah, we're going to get on the road now in sort of maybe 5-10 minutes. We're just getting a 15-minute break in, because the delivery in Coalville can sometimes only take about 20 to 30 minutes. So we're getting a 15 in now, and then we'll take the rest of the break when we get there. But yeah, there's nothing much else to discuss at the minute, so I'll scoff this down, and then you'll join me back when we're on the road, and we'll get some driving footage in. So yeah, just bear with me 2 seconds, and I'll see you in a minute. Right then, people, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Right, so yeah, we're not too far away from our delivery. But I was getting there for 8 o'clock, and I know that they won't touch us until at minimum like 5 to 9. And I can't justify being sat there not doing anything. That's the sort of thing that ruins my day, because then I feel like I've been sat waiting all day, whereas I like to sort of constantly be doing something, or, you know, driving or whatever. But yeah, anyway, yeah, like I say, we're back on the road now. We're just leaving Welford Truck Stop. If you guys are anywhere on the A14, we'll talk to the top of the A14, Junction 1 Welford Truck Stop, I highly recommend it. I'll put the address now, if I remember, with a picture of where it is as well. The food's great, the facilities are really great as well, which is always good, and you know, I'll always praise a truck stop where praise should be given. So yeah, it's one of those. And whenever I stop at a truck stop, if it's, you know, if the facilities have been good, then they'll always get a shout out from me. So yeah, like I said, and you haven't got to be a truck driver to go to Welford Truck Stop. You know, you can be just a general member of the public that's travelling. If you fancy some food, and some good quality food as well, it's all fresh eggs, British meat, all that sort of stuff, then Welford Truck Stop's your place on the A14. Well, the top of the A14. There's a few a bit further down towards Suffolk that I could also recommend, but we'll leave that until we stop there. But yeah, we're rejoining the road now, back in the A14. Like I said, we're not far away at all. We're getting there for 8:30, so we're only half an hour away. So essentially, yeah, it's sort of one of those that it was a good stop short, so to say, you know. Well, I thought I'd tell you guys, I had a mare of a day yesterday. It was hammering down with rain all day. You know, it was literally just, yeah, everything was soaked. And as you guys know, I don't like to wear my my boots or my trainers in the cab. I've got a pair of cab slippers that I wear, and I enjoy that. I feel making yourself comfortable when you're working, especially if you get the opportunity to, you know, making sure your environment's clean, making sure that you're comfy in what you're wearing, etc. But yeah, I'm a strong believer in it. So yeah, I wear my own little cab slippers, right? And I was driving along the M25 yesterday because we've done a delivery to Northwest London, and I thought nothing of it. I had my trainers with me, not my boots. And I got to, where was it? I can't remember where it was. I got somewhere and I got out of the cab. I can't remember where. Oh, that's going to really bug me now. It wasn't Ballroom, I don't think. Yeah, it must have been. I got to Ballroom to put fuel in. And yeah, it was. And as I got out of the cab and I put my right foot in the shoe or the trainer, there was just a puddle of water sat in the trainer. My foot was soaking. I just weren't happy from that. So as you can imagine, once I've soaked my foot in it and I've refueled and all that sort of stuff, by the time I got in the cab, my foot was dripping wet. So I took the sock off, put it next to the cab heater, or the outtake thing for the cab heater. Done nothing really. Got to Felixstowe, chucked my my wet sock back on, my wet trainer. Yeah, it was so let's just say I've learned the lesson today, and I've got my boots. I've got my my rigger boots with me, so yeah, it should be a bit of a more brighter story today, so to say, because yeah, as you can probably tell by the camera, it probably ain't going to rain today anyway. But yeah, we're just we're 3 miles away from the M1, and we're coming off the M1, heading northbound on the M1, Leicester way, coming off at Coalville. And as I said, we've done this delivery quite a few times. It's quite a nice delivery. It can be quick, it can be very quick, especially if it's palletised. But there's the odd occasion where the load isn't palletised, and yeah, you basically end up not getting a quick tip, and you end up you're there for about 2 to 3 hours. But we've got a sort of slimline trailer on today, so it's a normal container, but it's not the 40-foot like high cube essentially. So yeah, we should be all right. Normally this sort of load is palletized, and the high cubes are the loose loads, because obviously you can stack them as high as possible. It's not always guaranteed though. But yeah, I mean, it should be all right. I'm hoping to get some a nice sort of view of the truck once we get there as well, so you guys can see what I'm talking about with the container. Bear with me on that one. But yeah, we should have a pretty plain and simple day. I'm hoping that we get out of here by 10, back down to Felixstowe, which we should get there just after 1 o'clock if we leave at 10, and then we should be back in the yard before 3, which would be nice. And we started a bit earlier today as well, so we started at 4:30, which, as I said before, I love an early start on a Friday. I feel Fridays are built for early starts, so you can get up the road, get back, because you don't want to be stuck in Friday traffic going up to your delivery. You want to get that sort of out of the way, and if you're going to be stuck in any traffic, it'll be on the way home, so at least you're heading home, right? But anyway, we'll crack on to the delivery. I'm not too sure whether I'll film any more going in to the delivery point, but I'll definitely film the reverse. But yeah, we'll see what I decide to do, so see you in just a few moments.
Top down, hear the sound of the breeze carrying us away. Dust in the rear view, free as a bird. This is our time, no matter what they say. Every mile behind only brought us here. Now the road is clear. Shotgun ride on my Friday night, sunset fire. another day. All we got is this open road, no plans, just a cranked up radio. Ain't promising forever, ain't no end in sight. Girl, I'm loving the ride. You know I'm loving the ride. Oh yeah, loving the ride. Can't you feel this is real, you and me, nothing in our way. Baby, we were born to run, take them back road, let's make a great escape. Cause this life moves fast and we can't stop time, so put your hand in mine. Shotgun ride on my Friday night, sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past, deal with it another day. All we got is this open road, no plans, just a cranked up radio. Ain't promising forever, ain't no end in sight.
So then guys, that is us on the bay now. Hopefully that angle of the reverse sort of caught what I was trying to achieve. It's quite a tight yard, so yeah, it's one of those that you've got to sort of use all the space you can get really to get it round. But yeah, so when we opened the back, it's all loose, so normally it's palletized, but as I said earlier, obviously these containers normally are palletized. But unfortunately this one was all loose, so they were joking around saying around 3 hours. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, because obviously it's a Friday, we want to get back, but never say never with this sort of stuff. So jumped in the bunk, gonna have a nap. We've been up since quite early, and this week's sort of been up and down with start time, so the body's definitely feeling it. But we'll jump back once the delivery's done. I'll let you know how long it took, and yeah, then we'll get cracking on the Felixstowe. So I'll see you in just a moment. So then guys, delivery's complete. We just need to pull forward so we can go and close the back doors and make the suspension level on the trailer. So we're just pulling forward now. I'll put the microphone on now, just because I'm going to utilise a bit of this sort of camera view. I've changed it around a bit so you can see more out the windscreen as well. So I'm going to go and close the doors, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Obviously shoes off. Right then, so firstly I need to get a picture of this off to the office so they've got confirmation that delivery's done. Also need to chuck Felixstowe into the sat nav as well. Hopefully they just tell us to go back to the yards, because that took a bit longer than what we thought it would. It took 2 hours in the end, but then we were delayed as well because they didn't start tipping us till about 9:30. So it's currently 11:30, and essentially let's chuck that in there. Yeah, we got here at 20 to 8, but they just didn't tip us till 9:30. So I'll quickly let the office know the delivery is complete, and then we need to give them ETA to Felixstowe as well. And then I always let my partner know I'm leaving as well. And then that will be us good to go. Wow, good to go. Quickly gonna chuck this paperwork into my little folder. I like to keep it all organised so that it's all good there, all secure. And then I normally put it in a poly pocket at the end of the week to chuck into our into the office, so it's all nice and tidy for him. Right, let's just double check, make sure everything's good, it's all recording properly, and that nothing is affecting this mic. And hopefully it's not. And let's get it going. Let's get going. But yeah, that was, like I said, it took a lot longer than what I actually anticipated that did, which is not ideal. I was hoping to get back to Felixstowe for about 1, but now it's 2:30. But we'll be alright, we'll get on, get down the road. Give them a beep, otherwise you got to get out and press that bloody thing. Hopefully they just open it. So we'll do a bit like this, and then what I'll do is I need to charge the camera. So then I'm gonna have to get out. Just 2 seconds. This does my head in. And then normally when you get out, they open the gate. 2 seconds. This is when I fall out of the truck. Right, that's ringing now. So hopefully they just answer the gate to let us out. I can't be asked to be getting in and out. There we go. And the annoying thing is they literally sit there and watch the cameras, so they could just let you out. Some days they've got it open ready for you, some days they don't. Whatever. Right, yeah, like I was saying, what was I saying? Blah, blah. So we'll crack on Felixstowe. So we'll do a bit like this. I then need to charge the camera. So after I've charged the camera, I'll probably chuck into some sort of time lapse, I think. Maybe in this view, maybe in the windscreen view, who knows. And then we'll go from there. My truck's looking a bit dirty today because, again, I forgot to bring a bin. And there's been no bins that I've been able to use at the moment. I think, guys, I do apologise. The camera decided to. I didn't lock I've got to connect it to the steps for the upper bunk. So essentially, I decided to shoot all the way to the other end of the truck. But anyway, that's done. So we'll just we'll continue on. Make sure that you guys have got a good view of what I'm sort of looking at here. I think it's a lot better than what we had before, to be fair. And yeah, and we'll crack on, guys. We'll crack on. But yeah, like I said, let's get back to it. We'll crack on the Felixstowe. We're not too far away from the M1, so we'll just we'll switch to a time lapse when we can, which just means that we can get some decent, sort of time lapse footage in on the way, and then you'll probably join me back at Felixstowe, I think. Yeah, just one of those days today where it's quite gloom and doom, unfortunately. It was looking quite bright earlier, but it's really cold. But in the sense of the UK anyway, it's really cold. But yeah, it's alright. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. It's been quite fun editing. I'm sorry that videos haven't really been up to standard over the last couple of days, the last couple of vlogs, but hopefully we can get back to it and back to making vlogs that you guys are happy with. It's just been a mix of things, cameras not recording properly or losing footage, You know, just generic stuff that happens, unfortunately. The sort of jobs as well, we've had a lot of sort of repeat jobs that I don't want to keep vlogging the same thing in terms of where we go and that. You know, if there's a bigger gap between them, then obviously it's not too bad, but if you've sort of like, you know, watched in the last vlog and I'm vlogging the same place, it's just not going to be interesting, you know. That trailer's got ice falling off it. That's mad. But yeah, so essentially, like I said, we'll crack on now. We'll crack on down the M1. That's the M1 in front of us there. Got some low loaders carrying some Army SVs over there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so we'll crack on to the M1, get a time lapse moving on as we get further down the road, and then we'll reconvene when we get closer to Felixstowe. So I'll see you then.
I'm loving the ride. Don't matter where we're going, don't matter what we do, long as we got each other, just me and you. Shotgun ride on my Friday night, sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past and deal with it.
Hey guys, Felixstowe is where we are at. We've got to go to Tango 94. If I can remember where that is. Pretty sure it's in this stack here, off to our left. So it's drop the box off here, and then we need to go over to the other side of the port where we're collecting the container. Not sure if it's ours for Monday yet, but we'll find out shortly, because obviously we'll have to get back to the yard and get it off there and whatever. So yeah, hopefully it's not too confusing and we can just get in and out without trouble. But yeah, we're it's 5 to 3, so the VBS, the office didn't put the VBS until 3 o'clock. We can get in 15 minutes before the time. So if you are new to containers at Felixstowe, and the majority of other ports actually as well, London Gateway to Sim, you can get in 15 minutes early. So that's good to know. Tango's in here, and it's on that side there. The Tango 94, which we can cut through the middle to get to, I believe. So we should be all right. But yeah, it's not been too bad. We didn't get, like, I mean, we got to Felixstowe for 2:30, so we parked up, went to the toilet, tried to push past any potential traffic. You know what the A14's like, especially on a Friday. It can be a right pain in the toot, so it's yeah, it's only wise that I sort of pushed down, and I'd done all the prep for the end of the week yesterday, so I fueled up yesterday and all that sort of stuff. So we've got enough fuel to take us into Monday, just so we can get back when we get to the yard. If we've got to disconnect, then obviously disconnect, but if not, we can just sort of put the container lock on and get home, essentially. This is a bit of a weird one, right? So it's telling me Tango 94, but it's got us as pretty much in the middle of a stack. Oh no, it has to be here, wouldn't it? Tango 94 and Tango 95. Ah, right then. Now we've got to wait for the crane to come and, well, not the crane, even the forklift thing, container lift thing, whatever it's called. We'll wait for that to come over. So we may as well take a pause, and we'll come back once he's here. So guys, the forklift guy's here, thankfully, so we can get over to the other side, get loaded now. Just found out as well, funny enough, that it's our delivery for Monday. So yeah, it's going to be nice and simple when we get back to the yard, so I can just put some AdBlue in the truck and then get back. Let's start the engine and get back and 2 seconds, let me just watch this. Oh god, I hate when I do that. So sometimes they don't go flush with the container to pull it off, and ends up sort of jiggling you about. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so we're going to Kent, basically 7 o'clock delivery though, so that's a right early start. That's like 4 o'clock start, because they like us to start an hour before we should. Brilliant. But yeah, so Kent for 7, and then no doubt got a really good feeling that I'm going to get a reload up there as well. Won't be surprised, but we'll leave that to Monday. I'm not going to worry about it, and that's one thing I can always sort of suggest to anybody in this industry is, you know, yeah, it's great to know what I'm doing Monday in terms of deliveries, but I'm not going to let it worry me. I'm not going to stress about it, as long as I know sort of what time I need to be awake on Monday. That's all that matters, because then I can organise, well, especially Sunday around that. We're off to Wales this weekend as well to see my eldest daughter. We go down every sort of couple of weeks. So we've got a busy weekend. This weekend. And then back to it on Monday. So it should be alright. Hopefully. So we're on our way to the other side of the port now. So I'm happy to sort of show the exit of this side. I don't like showing the entrances, if I'm honest. I've had a discussion with one of the security guys about it as well, just to the do's and don'ts, and he did mention that the sort of the main gates and check-in areas are best not to record, so to say. A lot of people moving around those areas as well, so, but yeah, I thought it'd be something to show anyway for today. Let me know what you guys thought about the West Brom reverse as well, because by the time this goes live, so this will go live next Friday, and the Monday is when our trip to West Brom is live, and I managed to get a POV view of the entire reverse, which was pretty cool. So I'm glad I was able to do that, to show you guys what is he doing, that's all I got to say. It's on the wrong side of the road. Yeah, I was glad I got to show you guys the reverse, because I've talked about it a few times on the vlogs, like, you know. I'm glad I managed to get a POV view as well. The guy, the marshal, was sort of, oh, are you recording? I was like, yep. But he was more than happy for us to do that, which is great. It's always helpful when people are not in disagreement, I suppose. We've got the police over there, Port Police. I don't actually think they're sat in the cars, if I'm honest. So yeah, pretty much we are heading over to the next side of the port, over to berths 8 and 9, which is where we will collect our box on Monday, And then guys, it's pretty much straight back to the yard. It's not messing around. We want to get back. We want to get back home. It's been a long day today as well. Started very early this morning, and yeah, I think we're going to be close to a 12-hour day, which is well, I mean, when I first started driving, 15 hours are quite regular, but it's sort of when you start going around jobs and stuff, you start to realise that some jobs are more different to others, and you know, some jobs sort of are longer hours than others, so it's not too bad. Not too bad. I used to work for cross-country carriers as a planner. Spent a couple of months as a planner before coming to this company, actually. Really enjoyed it, but the money's just not good enough. You know, probably say on average around here, drivers are earning between sort of £160 and £200 per shift. And as a planner, you take a big price cut on that, you know. That's the reality of it. I think sometimes it's the wage that sort of ties people up in the industry, especially if you've got a good wage in the area, you know. It's just one of those things, especially like, you know, with the state of the country and, you know, the cost of living and that. You know, being a HGV driver sort of does offer a stable lifestyle for the family, but it comes with its consequences, which I've obviously talked about in the past as well. But yeah, I'll tell you what's pretty cool. I'd love to be a crane operator at Felixstowe. That is mad. If anybody works at Felixstowe and watches my vlogs, please let me know if I can come on a tour of the cranes. Preferably the cranes that that service the ships on the berths. I'm not really too fussed about the ones that service us, but they are wicked. Pretty cool. But yeah, I doubt that will ever happen, right? But yeah, it's quite a simple little setup around Felixstowe, to be fair. I mean, it is quite annoying when you've got to sort of jump between berths to go and collect boxes and drop boxes off. You know, sometimes you see the VBS and you see that it's two different sides of the port, and it's like the time in your head starts adding up then, like, especially this time of day, because you know that there's going to be traffic on the way back as well, and you just sort of start wishing that there's no more traffic, or start wishing that even that, yeah, there's no traffic at all, so you can get home without worrying. So at the moment I've got an hour and 19 minutes left to get me back to the yards. Done a total of 5 hours 50 of driving today, which is, to be fair, I actually thought it'd be a lot more. But we've managed to, like I said, get back in good time without traffic, so that's really helped us out. A lot of the time you sort of come from that area of the UK, sort of Leicester, Coalville on the M1, and it's guaranteed to be traffic all the time, and you just end up, yeah, your drive time ends up getting flunked, which is not ideal, you know, especially when you've got to come to Felixstowe. Sometimes you've got to take a break, either before you get to the yard, or before you get to Felixstowe, whichever you choose. But it's nice. I like the ports on Friday. They're really quiet. And they tend to just sort of, yeah, it's be very quiet, and there's no queues and all that sort of stuff, and it's one of my favourite days to actually come to the port. I'd rather do it now than on Monday, for example, you know, because it's 7 o'clock delivery. If I was coming to Felixstowe on Monday, I'd be starting at like 2 o'clock in the morning, because you can never guarantee that you're only going to be in there an hour. Sometimes you're in there for a lot longer. Anyway, we'll cut it here, and you'll speak to you just as we go through check-in. Right there, we're through check-in. Quickly drop my seatbelt on, otherwise it'll start dinging. Funny story actually. So I've just had a proper look at Monday's delivery. It's actually a multi-drop, which is only the second multi-drop I've done with a container. So we've got a delivery in Erith in Kent. So basically, it ain't really Kent. It's London. It's inside the low emission, the ultra low emission zone. And yeah, essentially it's just after the Dartford Bridge. So we got a delivery there on Monday, and then we have a delivery in Essex somewhere. So I have to sort of really eye it down where that is. So we've got a 7 o'clock delivery in Erith, and then back to, sort of back on ourselves then towards Essex. And then yeah, that'll be us obviously heading back to Felixstowe then. I can't imagine it being a reload from there, especially because it's saying that it's a food product as well. So yeah, I wouldn't be expecting to sort of have a reload with that. Now might be worth pointing out actually, so this part of the port has been extended. Sorry, the areas where the remote control cranes are now sort of, they're more. So they only used to be A and B rows on berths 8 and 9 that were actually remote control cranes, or control remotely wherever they are, or remotely controlled cranes. But this one, so now it's basically extended by 2. So we've got A, B, C, and D. Yeah, so C and D, and then they're in the process of doing E as well, which is pretty cool. Now we've got to wait for this guy to go forward before we can collect our box, because we're needing this stack here basically. So the front end of our unit needs to be sort of where his back end is essentially. So we'll cut for a bit, and I'll come back once the crane's servicing us. Now I'm not going to show the box coming down, and there's a reason for that, and it's because I got the splitter trailer on, it sort of sits a lot farther, the pins sit a lot further forward, and the last twice I've tried to record, and also the time before that when I wasn't recording, I've actually slipped and caught my armpit caught on the window, so I won't be doing that again. So yeah, we'll cut for a bit, and then come back once the crane's servicing us, and we'll go from there, guys. Right then, guys, I think the crane's having a bit of a fit. I'm not really too sure what's going on with it. Now it's buggering off anyway, so it was meant to be servicing us, but now it ain't, which is fine. Oh well. So yeah, the guy in front of us had a small issue with his, I'll look at the camera, with his back left pin. So essentially, where the cranes put the container onto the truck, it's essentially not gone onto that back left pin properly. So it's always useful if you're the driver behind to basically give him a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If it's not a remote control crane, the guy at the top will see you doing the thumbs down and pointing. He'll then raise the container, but obviously if it's a remote crane, it doesn't tend to happen. So the driver obviously noticed I was giving him the thumbs down, then I shouted over to him that your back left isn't in properly. And it was a simple fix this time, but sometimes the crane has to come back and service it, and basically lift it up, put it back down properly and whatever. But thankfully this time, that's all he had to do was sort of drive forward and brake really hard, and it put the container into the pin, essentially. So, well, that crane's gone back down there now, so what we'll do is we'll just snip here, and we'll come back when we're leaving. I think I can't be asked to be on and off when waiting for this crane. It does my head in. It's that time of day, and it's a Friday. So yeah, we'll come back when when we've been serviced and we've left Felixstowe. Right then guys, as always, we are finished in Felixstowe. Oh, he's going to try and get out. Oh, tag axle. Everybody's in a rush today now. So yeah, done with Felixstowe, heading back out now. Back to the yard. So it takes about half hour. Should be back by about 4:30, which puts us just shy of a 12-hour shift, which isn't too bad. You know, it's a bit of a shame it's on a Friday, but it is what it is, you know. And as you can tell, the red lights are more prominent, so therefore it's dark outside, or it's getting darker outside. So it's a nice little drive to the port. No, it's not to the port. I'm tired. To the yard. We're going to chuck some music on and just cruise on in, essentially. But there's not much else to show you guys today. I'm going to save it now for Monday, really, where hopefully I can get a good vlog of a 2-drop day, and hopefully it all goes to plan, right? But yeah, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna head back to the yard now. We're staying attached. There's nothing much else to really show at all today. Thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you for everybody that is subscribed to the channel and liking the videos. And thank you very much as well to everybody that's expressed interest and comments and all that sort of stuff. It's absolutely been brilliant speaking to everybody. If you haven't, please do drop a comment down below and leave a like in the video or on the video. And yeah, pop some questions down below if you've got any. But apart from that, guys, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. But as always, guys, thank you very much for watching the vlog, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
All we got is this open road. No map, just the stars to light the road. Ain't promising for